Hello, this time on location. Well, I am in France, in the Alps, and that's a good occasion to speak about a little bit of policies in the EU. When what was to become the EU started after World War II, basically the main pillar of agriculture policy was to make sure that Europe could feed itself. Now 2023, things have changed. The focus is definitely more on the environment and making sure that agriculture is sustainable. And the EU has developed what they call the Green Deal, which is controversial, of course, like every change. There are always people who are in favor and people who are opposed. But I think one of the main issues this time is that people don't look at intensification and efficiency in the same way. Unfortunately, those two words are very often used in a similar sense, while they are very different concepts. So today I'm going to look a little bit at that and explain why we must not confuse the two terms. So first, what is efficiency?
Efficiency is what you get out from what you put in, and what you get out is what you put in minus what you lose or what you waste. So by doing simple math, then it's easy to see that efficiency is actually 100% minus the percentage of waste. The conclusion of that is that when we increase waste, then we decrease efficiency, and when we decrease waste, then we increase efficiency. So the objective is always the same, the maximum efficiency. And let's be careful, it's not the same as maximum intensification.
All right, from we just saw that we can see that efficiency is something we must not compromise about. Uh, Slightly different from intensification, and we have to aim at maximum efficiency. Actually, 100% efficiency from what we just saw means zero waste. So that's a goal that we need to have. So how do efficiency and intensification then go together? And as we're going to see on the next slide, actually, we're going to see that they go hand in hand for a little while, but then things change.
To understand the relation between efficiency and intensification, we have to put ourselves in a situation where we increase intensification. That's the blue arrow. At first, what we're going to see is that efficiency goes in parallel. Technical and financial results improve, and after a while what we see is that this line reaches a plateau and then starts to stagnate. The point where the two lines separate is quite important. This point is the optimum. This is what we could call sustainable intensification, where we're going to get the best technical and financial results while being in a green zone, meaning being sustainable. But just like with stoplights, when we go from green to yellow, it's time to slow down and prepare to stop. We keep putting more inputs, but the technical and financial results are going to start to stagnate, and then the environmental impacts also going to appear. And if we want to push further intensification, then in the hope that maybe efficiency would go up again, that's not what happens. Efficiency go down. We're in the red zone. This is a zone where basically the environmental results are poor, the technical results and financial results are also decreasing and deteriorating, and this is an unsustainable situation.
So from the previous graph, what we see, what's very important is to focus on that optimum point, the sustainable intensification. And from the previous slide, what we see is we must not compromise on efficiency. So how do we reconcile finding the optimum and making sure that we're not wasting anything, so being at the maximum efficiency? Well, that's really the name of the game. That is really where the policies should be. And what's interesting is to see that those graphs, they vary between kind of productions. They also vary in which region you are, depending on, let's say, the climate, what are the temperatures, what is the rainfall, what are the water availability, what kind of soil you have, what the quality of the soil is. So it's a lot of parameters that are really going to influence. Other parameters also is, where do you produce and where is the market? So what is the whole supply chain? What is the distribution chain? And all those things are going to also shift where that optimum point is. So it's not easy. It's not like there is an absolute number. It's really all very relative. And talking about the markets, one of the aspects is, what do consumers want? Do they want really products that are sustainable? Do they want products that we should produce, or maybe it's time to stop producing them? And one other aspect which is very important, in my opinion, we don't talk enough, is what is the level of skills of the farmers. That influences very strongly where that optimum point is going to be. I've been, with farmers, and I've seen some farmers having state-of-the-art equipment and doing a great job, being sustainable, in producing really the maximum they could and making good money. I've seen other farmers with the same system having a lot of difficulties, probably not being sustainable, or at least causing more damage to the environment, and not having the same technical results, and financially also doing rather poorly. And on the opposite of that, what I've seen is farmers with what people would call outdated systems or even obsolete, actually doing a fantastic job. You could be sure they were not really causing any damage to the environment. They were having technical results that were absolutely amazing, and they were doing financially very well for themselves. Very important is to make sure that we help the farmers to have the right skills. So we need to train the farmers to farm better. We need also to give them the right tools that fit their skills. And that's the role of training and innovation. An example, for instance, a type of innovation that everybody talks about at the moment is artificial intelligence. And I've seen recently a study from Harvard. It's not on farmers, it's on consultants, but I'm sure we can extrapolate the conclusion. And what they noticed is that the consultants that were using artificial intelligence were actually having better performance than the ones who would not use it. And also that, let's say, the mediocre ones actually had a performance boost that was much higher than the really good consultants. So what it means is that when you have an artificial intelligence assistant, actually you're going to look better, you're going to do a better job. And I'm sure that for farmers we're going to see the same thing. By introducing artificial intelligence, then basically the farmer is going to have a farm assistant that's going to help him increase the level of his skills or compensate for his limitations or shortages, and that's going to offer a lot of new possibilities. So for the future, as you can see, if you look at that graph, really, there are a lot of directions to give from a policy point of view to make the right choices. And it's not so much about decreasing production, it's not so much about decreasing intensification, but it is really about finding this optimum point between intensification and efficiency.